Sir, it is certainly a special skill being the track announcer and calling the races for fans out here at Churchill Downs.
Yes, you have to be well versed with all the names of every horse and be able to accurately spot and call the changes in position during each race. Sounds like a tough job. Claire Kopsky met track announcer Travis Stone. She joins us live to give us a behind-the-scenes look at his job. Hey, Claire.
Well, Claire and Chris, to anyone like yourself who's spent time here at Churchill Downs on a race day, you may not know Travis Stone if you saw him in the grandstands, but you'll know him when you hear him. You know the voice.
And they're off.
But do you know the face?
The opening quarter goes in 22 and 4/5 seconds.
Today, Travis Stone is set to announce his 7th Kentucky Derby.
There's no two ways about it. The Derby comes with a tremendous amount of pressure. It's the hardest race to call in the world. 20 horses going on a quarter. It's a lot.
A lot of pressure, but not for someone who's been training nearly their whole life.
I'd always call the race. And next thing you know, I was just watching races on TV and listening to the announcer. Fell in love with that aspect of it, and I was about 10 or 11 years old, decided I wanted to be a track announcer.
As a 12-year-old who spent his summers at Saratoga Racecourse, Stone wrote a letter to the iconic race announcer Tom Durkin.
And said, I want to be a track announcer, can you give me some advice? And he wrote me back.
That letter was the start of a mentorship.
I was taught by Tom Durkin that to treat races like little dramas. What makes a good story? What makes a good sentence in a story. I mean, if you think about a race like the Derby, it's a 2-minute story, and there's only like 400 to 450 words that I say in that 2 minutes, so you really have to tell quite a bit in a very little amount of time.
Stone says preparing for those quick quips
and polished gem goes gate to wire
is essential to a successful day at the track.
I spend a lot of time reading, researching, writing down, recording things that I think would sound good in a race call, and can be reading any sort of random book and there's a line I was like, oh, that sounds good, I might use that.
But when the gates opened, Stone says the horses often push his preparations to the dirt.
And if I could script out a horse race, I'd just bet them and I wouldn't have to work. So you have to be ready for various things that pop up, but I do have scenarios, words, phrases, sayings, catchphrases, sounds that I think are appropriate for the field at hand, and just put them in my brain, and hopefully when the race is going on, they pop out.
A job with an open mic
with 5 furlongs to go.
That's said to be the most coveted in all of racing.
To be the voice of the Derby is, to cliche it, it is truly dreams come true type stuff.
Travis Stone earlier this week, as you can probably imagine, was fascinating. Just really what amazed me was how he was able to pivot on a dime from having a conversation with me who was in his booth to calling a race with such precision and such energy that he brings to the track every day. What I really learned this week is that track announcers, especially Travis Stone, have some serious skill. Well, don't go away. Our special coverage of the Kentucky Derby will be right back.